Hello students, I hope you had a good weekend. We'll move on with the next topic, Kirchhoff's laws. In this unit, current electricity, we have talked about Ohm's law, combination of resistors, and we have solved many numericals also. In most of the numericals you must have seen when we are finding the potential difference or the current in a circuit, we use Ohm's law. But sometimes the circuits are complicated and we are not able to use Ohm's law. In that case, we have another set of laws called as Kirchhoff's laws for electrical network. Kirchhoff's laws for electrical network. These are two sets of laws. We'll do these laws one by one. The first law is called as the current rule. And this law is stated for a junction. A junction is a point where two or more wires meet. So this law is stated for a junction. It states that the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a junction is 0. Mathematically we can write the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a junction is 0. When we use the word algebraic, this means we must be having a sign convention here. So here these two laws, the Kirchhoff's laws, they are stated and then we apply them using a particular sign convention. Here in this case, first law, we will have to use a sign convention. The sign convention will be if the current is entering a junction, then the current is taken to be positive. And if the current is leaving the junction, we can take it as negative. You can see this with the help of an example. Let me take a part of a circuit. Say this is a part of a circuit and at the point A, 4 wires are meeting and this point A we call as junction. Let us see the currents here. I have marked here 4 currents, I1, I2, I3 and I4. Let me apply Kirchhoff's first law to this junction A. So applying Kirchhoff's law at junction A, since we are taking the currents entering the junction as positive, so I1 is positive, then the currents leaving the junction as negative, so this is minus I2, again minus I3, since I3 is leaving the junction, and I4, it is entering the junction, so we have this as I4. This is how we will apply the first law. This law is based on a law of certain law of conservation. This is based on the law of conservation of charge. Why charge? Because current is the flow of charge. Here we are taking the algebraic sum of the currents at a junction as 0. So we can say this is based on the law of conservation of charge. Let us move to the second law. Kirchhoff's second law is also called as a loop rule. It is for potential differences. This law is taken for a closed loop in any electrical circuit. The loop should be a closed one. And after we select a loop, we can state the law. The law states that sum of the potential differences in a closed loop is equal to 0. Mathematically, we can state it as summation of all the potential difference in a closed loop is 0. There is another way of stating it, that the summation of all the EMFs, or the algebraic sum of the EMFs in a circuit is equal to the algebraic sum of the products of currents and resistances in a circuit, that is IU. These are the two ways in which we can state the law. Since in each case we are saying that it is the algebraic sum of the potential difference. Here we are saying it is the algebraic sum of the EMFs equals to the algebraic sum of the products of currents and the resistances. Hence, there must be a sign convention here again. To follow this sign convention, I'll just discuss it. To follow the sign convention, first of all, the first step is that we choose a loop in any circuit, a closed loop, and in the loop we mark a current direction. This current direction, this traversal direction, can be a clockwise direction or an anti-clockwise direction. We will just see after I explain these sign conventions with the help of an example. So first of all, first step is we choose a loop, and then we decide a direction of traversal which can be clockwise or a anti-clockwise. The first is choose a loop and then decide a direction of traversal, clockwise or anti-clockwise. As we move through the loop, clockwise or anti-clockwise, let us say clockwise, whenever there is a cell or a battery and we encounter the negative terminal of the battery, then the EMF is taken to be positive. And if we encounter the positive terminal of the battery, we will take it as negative. So for EMFs, if you encounter, by moving along this traversal direction, if you encounter the negative terminal, then the EMF is taken as positive. And if you encounter the positive terminal of the battery, then the EMF is taken to be negative. The third sign convention, the third step is that wherever you have a resistor and the potential difference across it is to be seen, if the current is in the direction of our traversal direction, then IR is taken to be positive, and if the current is in the direction opposite to our traversal direction, then it is taken to be negative. So if the direction is same, then IR is positive. And if the direction is different, then IR is taken to be negative. This is how we will apply the laws. In the circuit, whatever number of unknown quantities we will have, we will create those many equations, and then by solving the equations we can find the unknown quantities. Let us see an example. I'll take a circuit In this circuit already the current directions were given. Here we have to find the values of I1, I2 and I3. These are to be found. In case the current directions are not given, we have to mark the directions of the current ourselves. I will show you that also. First let us see the circuit. We have three unknown quantities here, I1, I2 and I3. This means we need three equations. First of all, let us use here the first Kirchhoff's first law, the junction rule at point B. At point B you can see I1 and I2 are entering B and I3 is leaving B. So here we have I1 plus I2 minus I3 equals to 0. We have applied the Kirchhoff's first law at junction B. Now we need two more equations, so we will use Kirchhoff's second law to create two more equations. We can choose any loop. Here in this circuit we have three loops, A, B, E, F, A, one loop, another B, C, D, E, B, and third one is A, B, C, D, E, F, A. Three loops. We can use any of the three loops. Let me choose this loop A, B, E, F, A. I am choosing this loop A, B, E, F, A and apply second law to this loop. First step is to choose the direction of traversal. So here I will choose clockwise direction and start from A. When I start from A and move along the loop, I do not have any element here, and then I move to this part of the loop. In this part of the loop there is a resistance. So in this resistance 2 ohm, the current is flowing in the same direction as our chosen direction of traversal. Okay. So IR will be taken positive here. So we can write here I3 to I3. Okay. Then move to the next part of the loop. Here again we do not have any element. Then move here to the last part of the loop. Here, as you move to FA, we see that negative terminal of the battery is there. So whenever negative terminal is encountered in our direction of traversal, we will take it as positive. We will take the EMF as positive, and here on the right hand side, we will put EMF as positive. Then we have the resistor. This resistor, here the current I1 is flowing. You can see I1 is flowing. So again I1 is in the direction of our chosen direction of traversal. So here also we will take IR as positive. So we will have here plus 5I1. This gives us our second equation. Then let us choose the next loop, B, C, D, E, B. So loop B, C, D, E, B. This loop is there. Again, let us apply second law here. Start from B. The loop direction of traversal I am again choosing as clockwise. So starting from B, BC has no element. C, D has a resistor and a battery, a cell. So first of all, let us see what is the current direction at 3 ohm. At 3 ohm, the direction is I2, which is in the direction opposite to our chosen direction of traversal. So here IR will be negative. So we will have minus 3I1, I2, minus 3I2. Then come to the cell. Here positive terminal is there. So which is, we are moving in the direction of traversal and we are encountering the positive terminal of the battery. So on the right hand side, we will put minus 6. Come here, there is no element here again. Then come to the last part of the loop, EB. In EB, we have again 2 ohms and the current in it is in the direction opposite to our chosen direction of traversal. And here again we will put minus 2 I3. Now we have three equations, 1, 2 and 3. Solving these equations, we can find the values of I1, I2 and I3. I have found the values, and if you find them, you will get the result as I1 has 48 by 31 amperes, I2 has 18 by 31 amperes, and I3 has 66 by 31 amperes. This is how you can find out any unknown quantities given in an electrical network using Kirchhoff's laws. In this second equation, second law, it is also based on a law of conservation. This is based on the law of conservation of energy. The second law, it is based on the law of conservation of energy. So I'll give you some exercises. You will solve those exercises, try out Kirchhoff's laws. You will apply Kirchhoff's laws on the numericals and see how you are easily able to calculate any of the unknown quantities that are given to you. Have a good day. Thank you.